but we're here now. We're here now. We're here again. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and start that recording. It's gonna start in 5, 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. I'm gonna try and not shake so much this time because I heard on the last episode I was beatboxing on the desk and shit stuff like, bro, sounded like I don't know, Hiroshima bombarding. It's like, come on, bro, why are you is that bad taste? It might be. You're gonna hear me sniffling a lot. It's what are we in March? It's allergy season, but I'm allergic to pollen. It's allergy season like a motherfucker though. So, like, for whatever reason, I've been really like snot nose, and I ain't got no tissue nearby, and I don't really feel like getting up and going to go get some tissue. So, you just gonna hear me sniffling. But episode 2, we back. We back for another week. Back at it again with the YourStory Podcast with Rodney J Salter, yours truly. Thanks, guys. Once again, no clear direction. Look. Once I get like a setup for like how like an itinerary, that's what they call it. Could think of the word. Once I get like an itinerary for how I want these episodes to lay out, I'll run with it. But until then, I'm just going with the flow. Apart from the fact that I'm gonna be sniffling a lot, I'm also be drinking a lot. Gotta stay hydrated. Drink your water, people. A gallon a day. A gallon a day. I don't know what the benefits do, but they say drink a gallon a day. Flushes out all the toxins. Get your skin clear, you know. Water. Drink it. What's it called? We're gonna start. I think that's how I'm gonna start doing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up these videos with like a. So I had this thing called a high low in Avid, right? I'm not gonna do a high low, right? Cause I'm trying to adopt a more positive mindset, and I don't really want no lows like that. I don't, you know, although there were some low points during this week, I'm not really trying to do all that. But I will deliberate on my festivities. I wasn't trying to be outside this weekend, right? I was trying to be a good noodle, right? I was trying to be a real good square in the house. But for whatever reason, right? I get off. I work from Tuesday to Friday, right? Night shift. I'm an overnighter. I know my sleep schedule, all types of messed up. All right. Anyways, so I get off on Friday, right? I get off on Saturday morning. Coworkers are like, okay, so yeah, I'm trying to be a good noodle, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna be inside this weekend. Don't want to spend no money. Don't want to be out being nobody face. This, that, and the third, right? I'm gonna be inside. Saturday morning rolls around. Quitting time. Coworkers. Hey, what you doing Sunday? What you doing Saturday? Coworkers coming up. Homeboys coming up. Oh, we outside this weekend, just so y'all know. I'm like, what are you... I had already resigned to being inside. But now everybody's coming up talking about what we on this weekend, what we on us. Keep in mind, I live in Austin. It's South by Southwest as well. So I'm like, what's going on? And I succumb to peer pressure fairly easily. A lot less now that I've, kind of disciplined myself, but I succumb to peer pressure very easily. So everybody's like, we outside this weekend. I guess I'm outside this weekend. Because tell me why. Saturday night rolls around 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm hitting people up talking about some what's the move. Go and kick it with the homeboys at this little bar down in the Domain. It was a great time. Needless to say, my car got thrown up in. In the moment, I was pissed, but hey, it was a little bit of throw up, and it don't smell. So I was like, look, and I mean, I haven't said anything yet, but I'm just like, yo, you know what? Shit happens. Can't say I haven't thrown up in my own car, right? So, but needless to say, decent weekend. Decent weekend. Well, yeah, because it's today Sunday. Sorry, this will be coming out on Monday, but yeah, today I'm recording this on Sunday. So yeah, pretty decent weekend so far, but that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. Look. That's my story. What's the date? The 19th. That's my story on March 18th, 2023. but but no, I really wanted to talk about. So I had a question posed to me couple days ago, I believe. Hence the reason also why I want to start this podcast, because I had a question posed to me a couple days back, and I think one of my coworkers I'm real cool with, they were like, so what do you like? What are you gonna talk about? You know, like what's your next episode gonna be about, or what are some topics you could think about? And I was like, I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of like going with the flow. You know, I'm just like really whatever comes to mind. Shoot, to think of whatever I can talk about for the next 30, 40 some odd minutes, right? But then they were like, you ever think about talking about work? And I was like, that's not a bad idea. So in my previous episode, right, my brief overview of my story, right, of my life so far, I had mentioned my first job. Did I even mention my first job? I don't even know. I don't think so. But in case I didn't, right, my first job was, oh shit. My first job was with the city of Austin. I believe that was my first like technical job, or like on paper job. Was with the city of Austin. I had joined this program in high school called Tilt. Shout out Tilt. That's not. There we go. Shout out Tilt. Tilt program, city of Austin. Basically, it was this program where they train you on like making engaging games and activities for kids, right? Like a summer camp type ordeal. It was fun, coming up with creative games and stuff like that. I think I came up with like some version of tag. I don't know. It's always at the end of the day, every game boils back to tag. When you're what 13 and under, every game boils down to tag. It's just a different variation of tag, but it's all the same stuff. You're it. Get to this. It's either tag or hide and seek, one of the two, and even hide. Anyways. So we're making games, right? Tilt was my first job. I was. I want to say. I had to have been 15, 16. I know I was a minor, so I had to have been like 15, 16, around that age, right? And it was cool, little summer gig, right? It was my first job, so I'm like, this is really good. Like, and which is with the city of Austin, so I'm like, yo, like if I ever decide, I want to come back to, I'm good, So I did that for a summer, met some pretty interesting people, met some pretty great kids. was off that, right? I only did it for that one summer. I did not go back. But my second job, right? And this is Tilt was cool, but I really count this as my next job as my first job, because it was the first job that I had to seek out, right? It wasn't like necessarily handed to me or I did join the dual program. It was like, this is the first job that I had to seek out, online interviews, all that stuff, right? So my first job, right, was Journeys. Journeys shoe store. Journeys was great. Look, I'm not even going cap. Journeys was a great job. Being like a salesperson, right? I don't know. It's never really. I don't like people that much. I'm like introvert to the max, and I don't really not necessarily vibe well, but I just don't do well with people, in my head, anyways. And so having to like talk to new people, mind you, every day. It was definitely a learning curve. Like it wasn't the job wasn't stressful, right? And I was like 16, 17, so it couldn't have like it's that's like the perfect shoe store, 16, 17, making your own money, and it's a laid back environment, right? And you get to talk to people all the time, like that's like a teenager's dream. Well, some teenager's dream, just like you're cooling, right? And it's commission, so it's like you're cooling. If you're a great salesperson, you're cooling for the most part. What sold me was the shoes. I really like shoes, but anyways, that's kind of when I like, and all these jobs and stuff, job stories is gonna pull it down to a point, but I'm gonna get to it later, way later. But yeah, so Journeys was cool. Being a salesperson was cool. Very laid back environment. The coworkers that I had, I mean I don't talk to today, but like they were decent people, real cool people. My manager, real good guy. Oh no, I do have one of the coworkers. Either way it goes. Really cool people, right? It's just having really like, I don't know, turn me off about that job, I guess you could say, is just having to talk to people all the time. And the hours were pretty janky. And I was like, I'm good. I was also in school. So I was like, look, thank you for the opportunity. I'm cool, right? So I'm off Journeys. And that Journeys kind of like sprinkled the seedling of, I don't know what working is for me. But anyways, I'll dive back into that, all right? So after Journeys, right, I'm in school, not really thinking about work. Like, I want money, you feel me? But I'm like, I'm in school, I got stuff to take care of. ACC was going on in my life, stuff that just too much stuff to take care of, right? So I was like, I'm gonna chill off working, right? I didn't get my next job. Ooh. My next job was, after Journeys, was it? No, it couldn't have been the city of Austin. Now I'm thinking, because I'm like, where did I work after Journeys? I believe so from Journeys, I think Journeys and Tilt, right, was the only jobs that I had in high school. Or in high school. I think my next job was Dillard's, and I think I had that job coming out of high school. So like going into prom season, yeah, yeah, going into like prom season and graduation and stuff is when I got my next job, which is Dillard's. I know. So Dillard's, another great sales job, right? I was a sales associate. Hey, I don't care what nobody say. I look great in a button up. In a button up and slacks, I'm Mr. Spiffy. Come on now. But yeah, that was my next job. That was my look again. Journeys was my first job, so this would make Dillard's my second job, right? start at Journeys, and go on from there. So Dillard's was my second job. My second sales job. Second sales job, and I was selling shoes. Lady shoes, mind you. Which was great for two reasons, right? I learned two things from Dillard's. I'm jumping around. So from Journeys, right, I learned the sales game, right? I learned the pitching, I learned the closing, I learned all of that, right? From Dillard's, right, I learned, I learned, it's funny that I say this now. I learned, like, the eye of women, if that makes any sense. Because I was selling lady shoes, so I had to really be keen on women's style, right? What goes with this outfit? I had to literally look you up and down, right? Let's take your mom, for example. I had to look your mom up and down. Why am I looking over here and the camera's over here? Anyways, I had to look your mom up and down and be like, all right, cool. She has this on, right? I have these shoes in my arsenal. So let's see what will go good with this, right? What will complement her this way? Let's see if I can go bring some other stuff out to see if she's feeling this, right? Let me throw on my own spin to see if she's feeling right. To see if she could potentially be feeling what I think she would look good in. This, that, and the third. I basically had to learn the art of styling a customer, right? I was supposed to learn it in Journeys. I didn't really get it there, but in Dillard's, I for sure got it there. So I learned the art of styling a customer and just being professional when you're doing it, right? Those two things I learned from Journeys, or from Dillard's, sorry. But I also realized, like in hindsight, I'm a really good, I don't like people. And so being in a sales position based off commission where you have to talk to everybody every day, everybody new every day, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I already know I don't like to do this, right? But I learned I'm a really, really good, not really good, but like I'm decent at a sales position. Because I always hit goals, right? Sometimes I went above and beyond. Always hit goals. I was selling, bro. So I was really decent at it. But again, that also solidified this working stuff, because at a certain point, right, I'm going to this job day in and day out, right, weekend in, weekend out. I'm getting paid, which is cool, but I'm like, I'm not fulfilled. And I'm like, there has to be something else outside of this. Why am I, like, I'm thinking, why am I coming here? Why am I trading in? Because everybody's working, right? And I had no choice but to work, because I'm like, how else am I going to pay for college? But I'm also like, why am I trading in my time to do something I know I don't want to do? To talk to people I don't want to talk to. Why am I doing that? So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking while I'm at those. I'm like, bro. And what I do, I talk to myself. I talk to myself a lot. And so during those moments, because I was bored, bro. Oh my God. When there's a rush, if you're a salesperson, in my experience, right, when there's a rush of people, weekends, holidays, and random sales, they do like mark-offs and stuff like that. So weekends, holidays, and like mark-offs. When those seasons come around, always people flying, shoes flying off the shelves. I'm not bored. But when there's nothing going on a Sunday, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing here? And I think that's really what it boiled down to. I was like, the sales position, it's just not productive enough for me. Like, I need to be in a position where I'm in flow state. Also, I have Humex. Shout out Humex. I need to be in a position. This is what I was thinking, right? I'm like, I need to be in a position where it's productivity at least for a certain amount of time, and then I'm out. Why am I doing up, being lollygagging, fixing shoes, not even like doing whole teardowns. I'm fixing slight shoes. I'm lollygagging. What are we doing here? No. So there were definitely more at those jobs. There were definitely more boring times where we're all just sitting doing this for hours at a time. Then we're up and we're at 'em. Like the up and at 'em moments were great, and I learned a lot and I sold a lot, right? And we all came together as a team to hit goals. We were peak, but yeah, twiddling my thumbs, waiting for stuff to pop off. No. So yeah, Dillard's came and went. The moment school, because I was only in there for the summer going into my freshman year of college. So like the moment motherfucking August hit, I was like, all right, cool. Doses, and they were, my manager was like, because I didn't put in a 2 weeks notice because I was over this job. I was like, I'm not gonna be here in 2 weeks. Why am I? Anyways, she was like, we can't hire you because you didn't put in 2 weeks. I was like, okay, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, you really think I give a fuck? When I'm done with a job, I'm done. I'm raps. You don't have to hire you don't have to hire me again. You really don't. Cause I'm on to something better. Anyways, something bigger, something better, something more productive. Anyways, Dillard's, right? Came and went. August of my college year, right? I don't think I worked my entire college year. My entire college career. Why? I wasn't, again, like I said in my previous episode, I was free in my head anyways. So I was like, work. What are you talking about? Student, what do they call those things? What do they call them when you work on campus? What do they call those things? I don't know. It'll come to me eventually. When it does, you're gonna hear a light bulb click. Anyways. Dang, it's really messing with me. Anyways, I wasn't working in college, right? But once, pandemic hits and I had to come back home, my next job, right? While I was home, I was working as well as trying to go to school, trying to do both, right? Hard. Oh my God. Big, huge shout out to people who can go to work full time as well as overtime, as well as go to school full time or even part time. If you are a full time employee and a anytime student, big ups, huge ups, because I could not do it. I'm not even gonna cap to you. I couldn't do it. I was working night shift. That means I'm sleep during the day so I can be up again. That means let's say my night shift starts at 6 on a Monday, right? 6 p.m. on a Monday. That means I'm sleep, right? All Monday morning and afternoon, up until 6, and up from 6 to, I had a 10-hour shift. So from like 6 to 5. Get up at 6, leave at 5. Or actually, no, when did I get in there? Scratch that. Scratch all that. Shift was at 10, right? which leads me into my third job. I worked at Lowe's, right, trying to do this whole school and work stuff. So my shift starts at 10, 9 or 10-ish, right? It starts later. Shift starts at 10, I get off at 6. That night shift, right? So that also means that in order to get up for seemingly the next day, I'm asleep from like 7 a.m. morning time all the way into the afternoon, the evening, all of that. So I'm asleep for basically all of Monday. If my shift starts at 10 on Monday, I'm asleep for all of Monday until 10 or until, when I gotta go to work. Knocked, and I sleep heavy. Ain't no time for, there is time for me to go to school, but I gotta sacrifice sleep to do it. One thing about me, I ain't trying to sacrifice my sleep for nobody. They say you supposed to get 8 hours of sleep. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to make sure I get them 7 to 8 hours. I don't care. I don't care. Because if you mess with my sleep, I'm grumpy and I'm volatile. So anyways, big ups to those people who can do full-time as well as school. Because yeah. It's not that I can't do it. It's that I can't do it, bro. So, anyways, trying to go to school, right? While I'm working at Lowe's overnight shift. And Lowe's was a pretty good job. I was a merchandising sales. It's part of the merchandising sales team. So basically, if you go to Lowe's or a Home Depot, right, you'll see people who were just like around fixing stuff. That's what I did. On the overnight team, I went around Lowe's and I fixed stuff, right? So that way y'all can go in. This is public knowledge. That way y'all can go in and y'all can have y'all's beautiful, right, toilet displays and shower displays and tile and concrete and rooftop roof shingles displays. Y'all can have all these displays and y'all's products are in the right areas and this, that, and the third. Everything looks so orderly and I'm not making fun. I'm being genuine. I'm not being sarcastic. Everything looks so orderly. I was part of that team, right? Making sure that everything looked spick and span, so that way when the customers came rolling in at 6 o'clock, all y'all got to do is grab and go, right? Everything's everywhere it needs to be. We also did something for like vendors and stuff, so that way, product placement and all that stuff. Look, it was great because I got to move some real deal. I probably should have, if I would have stayed a little bit longer, I would have been way more swole, right? Because I'm moving steel beams up and down, moving heavy ass tile, right? Bro. I'm putting in physical labor, which was cool for a time. It's only cool until you get hurt. It's only cool until you get hurt. And it could have been worse. I only suffered a minor injury. That's why I stayed so long. I stayed for like, I don't know, half a year, 8 months. I stayed for a pretty days. Like, seeing as though I stayed at those other jobs for like 2-3 months at a time, I stayed at Lowe's for a pretty long time. And it was real physical. Like I said, pushing tile across the floor, buffered floors, mind you. Not easy, and I'm a above and beyond person. So where I should only be stacking like 4 high, I'm stacking like 5 high and trying to push all that by myself, mind you, push all that to the back. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? But pretty decent job. I had some pretty decent coworkers. Small team, right? So small team and overnight. So I was like, yes, I don't gotta talk to nobody. I don't gotta talk to a single soul of a customer, right? And the team is small, so I only gotta know a few people. Perfect position for me. And like sometimes it would just be us. after all night, like overnight. So like for the most part, we were at stores where like we have different teams. So like there would be us, the MST team. I guess the T stands for team. There would be us as MST, and then there'd be like overnight stalkers and like other teams, right? Other Lowe's teams. And then other vendors and like separate contractors and stuff because there'd be like bigger projects and stuff. But occasionally, it would just be the MS team. It would just be MST at a site. Boy, I mean, I'm for the majority of the shift, I'm by myself. I was like, this is cake. This is gravy. I love this because I don't gotta interact with anyone. I can just be there getting swole. This is great. It's awesome. I loved it for the time. And then I was like I said, for a time, right? And then I got bored of it because I realized, again, when I talk to myself, right? And I reflect on a lot of the decisions I make, right? And so I'm thinking, what am I doing here that I could like? Why am I spending my time here if I could be doing something else? And I was also like, I had dropped out of school, but I'm like, yo, I wasn't trying to work. I was trying to go to school. So let me really, stop and focus on that. I don't think I did. Besides the point. But I was like, yeah, I really want to focus, at least in my head. I was like, I really want to focus on school. Like, why am I working right now when I could be focused, when I could be a full-time student? Especially because I was already a full-time student. So yeah, being like isolated, I guess you could say, by choice, right? And really sitting there and pondering like, okay, this is what you're doing right now, right? You're at a warehouse, essentially, moving boxes, moving steel, moving tile, whatever the case may be, right? Is this your long game? Like, and I think what really made me be like, I don't want to do this is because with school, I saw an end goal, right? But with these jobs, with Journeys, I saw an end goal. It's supplementary money right now. And the crazy part is, I don't even think Journeys served a purpose that like I didn't use Journey for a purpose. I was like, I'm in school. I don't even really need. I just had gotten so used to working with the city of Austin that I was like, oh, let me get a job, And I was like, what? I need a job right now. Same with Dillard's, I was just like, Dillard's did serve a purpose. Dillard's was college money. So Dillard's did serve a purpose. That's why I liked it so much. Lowe's. There it is. Lowe's did serve a purpose. Or originally it served a purpose. Originally it was supposed to be money that I was building up so that I could go back to college. It didn't end up working out that way because I'm just not I wasn't the greatest with money. Still learning. But Lowe's was supposed to serve the purpose of, this is going to help you get back into college, right? This is going to be your income for you to get back into college. And then, I don't know, somewhere along the line, I was just like, I guess I lost that purpose. And I was like, bro, what the hell am I doing here? I'm literally just working day in, day out, injuring myself. I had somebody kick my finger in. I'm like, bro, injuring myself for what? Like, I wasn't saving none of this money. I was like, bro, what am I actually doing? And so I quit that job, right? Because I got bored of it. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I stopped seeing the purpose of it. So I was like, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm going back to school, right? And so I took like a little hiatus, right? I was still in school at the time, but was I? No. I forget how the timeline works, but I believe I was either in school. No. I'm also beating on the table again. I was either going back to school or trying to go back to school. I believe I was trying to go back to school because I had emailed advisor. So I believe I was trying to go back to school, right? And so yeah, I took like a little hiatus from working, right? Again, this is gonna all tie up into some grand ideation that I have. Anyways, took a hiatus from school or from working, right? And I was just at home studying, trying to become a better student because I was like, you know what, I really need to kick it into high gear. Fast forward, right, to what are we on? Lowe's, job 4. Wait. Actually, I did Lowe's twice. So I quit Lowe's and then went back to Lowe's. Yes. Yeah, because So I quit Lowe's, put in my 2 weeks in, and then I went back to Lowe's. That's the job I'm missing. I was like, what? I know I did something, but I know I did something. I had worked at Walmart for a little stint. No, I'm not even like. That's a just no. Walmart is just a no. It's just a no. Yeah, no. I was like, bro, you have resigned yourself to hey, if you got motion at Walmart, good to you. It's just not for me, bro. I had resigned. I was feeling like, I was like, you resign yourself to a grocery stocker? You're way better than this. It's time to up the ante. So I was out there for a month and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good off that. And then went back to Lowe's, right? But this time I went for the day shift because I was like, I need more time, right? The night shift was making me feel like I had I'm on night shift now where I work at now. And the night shift was just making me feel like, bro, time is so fleeting. Like, I will wake up and I'm like, bro, what day is it? I'm thinking it's Monday, lo and behold, or I'm thinking it's Tuesday, lo and behold, it's Thursday of next week. I'm like, bro, what? I don't know what the date is. I only know when to clock in and when to clock out. That's no way to live, bro. It's no way to live. Currently living it now, but hey, that's beside the point. So I switched over to days at Lowe's, a day position at Lowe's with a new, like a new home site, I guess you could call it. And it was cool, right? But I also realized more like the morning shift, and I think it's coupled with a lot of stuff because I was living out. I was living with my then girlfriend out in Elgin at the time, which is like 30 minutes away from where I need to be, right? So I realized, bro, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, to then go drive 30 some odd minutes to be at work. Scratch the fact that I gotta drive, waking up at dickhead o'clock, period. In case you haven't noticed, the theme of me and jobs, and really the theme of this episode is working where I don't see the point. Not for me. Not for me at all. And that's what I felt like I was doing for a majority of my work life, is working just to work. No end goal in sight. I'm just at a job. And I gotta stop doing that. And I was like, yo, why? Why am I doing this to myself? Like, why am I working at a place I have relatively no interest in, right? With people who are cool, right? The environment is definitely, or the camaraderie is definitely there, right? The work environment is just not ideal for me, right? Um, this, that, the third, amongst other things, right? Why am I doing this to myself? It's basically what I'm thinking. But anyways, I'm at Lowe's day shift, and that just kind of solidified, like, yeah, no, I can't. I can't. One, in terms of whether I would like night shift or day shift, it's probably gonna be night shift because I like to sleep in. You can't do that on morning shifts. But I mean, there's trade-offs for both. Night shift, you lose track of time, but you can sleep in, and you ain't gotta talk to people. Day shift, you gotta wake up at dickhead o'clock in the morning, but you got time, right? You at least know what the date is. You at least know what day of the week it is, right? And you're 9 times out of 10, you're ending your shift, right, along with other people out in the world, right? And so your dinner time, right, wind down time, movie, whatever the case may be, right? It's daytime is just you get more. It feels like you get more time, right? Throughout the day. Anyways, day shift to Lowe's. I was there for a while. That was the day shift. So Lowe's is the first job that I put a 2 weeks in, like a full 2 weeks in. I respected them. The night shift is also the first job that I got fired from. How you quit and get fired? How do you do that? Anyways, first job I got fired from, and I got fired because I know I got fired. I got fired because of punctuality. I was showing up late. Like I said, waking up at dickhead o'clock. So I'm waking up, getting there at like, my shift started at like 6. I'm waking up, getting there like 6:10, sometimes 7, sometimes 8, and just having to make up the hours later, right? I did not want to wake up early. I wanted to sleep in. And so got fired from there. But yeah, Lowe's just kind of like, not Lowe's in itself, but that being like my third or fourth job, right? And that just kind of solidified like, yo, I'm working and I don't really see, especially because I wasn't working for school. I was just working. I was like, yeah, I don't see the point in this, right? And so, but hey, I'm not in school, right? I want to get my own place. I got my own car. So responsibilities are starting to pile up, and I'm like, now I have to work. It's not even a case of, oh, I'm doing this for this. It's like, you got to work because, nigga, bills is coming. So I'm like, all right, bet. If I'm gonna work, it's gonna be it's gonna be worth it, right? Along comes probably the best job I've had, right? And I found it on accident. So I'm like, you know what? I have skill sets, right? I have skill sets. I'm a very good employee. I learn fast. I pick up, I'm very good with my hands. So I'm like, I could be some sort of technician, right? Actual technician, not a beef handler technician where I'm flipping. An actual technician like is in the title. So along comes Weed Man. Along comes Weed Man. Weed Man is a company based out of somewhere in Canada, bro. They started somewhere in Canada. Franchise all the way out here. When I tell you the environment, the workload, the schedule. The schedule was morning shift. So I was like, yeah. But the schedule, right? And I'll get into more why that worked too. So yeah, the environment, the workload, the schedule, right? And what was it called? There was something else, but I'm pretty sure it was I guess like the training. All were great. That's why I say Weedman was probably my favorite job, because the people were cool. AF. They were all, not all, they were mostly like around my age bracket. They weren't like super young, but they weren't like super old, right? So they're around my age bracket, right? All just waking up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, getting to the grind. Getting to the grind. I was like, this is great. This is great. And they're named Weedman. So, it was you had a base pay, and the pay was great, because you could get it was commission based off jobs, right? So I had a route, it was commission based, but you could also get more income or more pay if you did marketing and sales on your routes. So I'm like, yo, I come from a sales background. So I'm like, let me take advantage of this. I didn't take full advantage, but I was like, let me take advantage of this, because this is really great, right? But what I learned from Weedman was, this is why Weedman was my favorite job. Because Weedman, on those routes, right? Because all my job title or all my job responsibilities are to apply whatever products, right? We launch products I have to for the day. But the places, oh my God, the houses, the properties that you gain access, that I got to get access to. God, I couldn't get that sentence out. Beautiful. I'm talking about places. Again, I'm from Austin, so I can only attribute it to where I know. But like Steiner Ranch, beautiful houses up in Westlake Hills, houses by the Oasis. This was one town. It's called like Jonesville or something like that. Liberty Hill, like just the white people areas. Oh my God. The Wahite areas. So many gated communities. I think in one of those houses, I saw a pair of blue heelers for the first time. Beautiful dogs. That's what Weedman opened my eyes to, right? Because before, I'm cooped up in and that's why Weedman was my favorite job. Because before, I'm cooped up in a factory. I'm cooped up in one place, right? I can't go nowhere. I'm cooped up in a park. I'm cooped up in a warehouse. I'm cooped up in wherever the case may be, right? This is the only place I can go to. But Weedman, I'm going all across Austin. Places I would have never. Before Weedman, I didn't even know where the Oasis was. I would have never gone to the Oasis. I think. Oh, do I even have pictures? I don't think so. But I'm seeing just beauty, just the best way I can describe it. The hill country, beautiful. Even past like what's this place behind me called? Manor and Elgin and what is this other place called? LaGrange. Like even past those areas where you go from the hill country to the country. Also beautiful. But it also like again and with Weedman, a lot of the jobs that I've had, I've been by myself, right? Like the responsibility is just to have me like just by myself. Like do this, you can do it on your own time. So with Weedman, right, I'm given a route throughout the whole day, but I'm by myself the entire day. So I'm seeing all this stuff, right? These beautiful houses, these mansions, these castles, right? These manors, right? And I'm like, how can I get this? How can I get to, I'm seeing beautiful houses in construction or under construction, and I'm like, how can I get to this? And I had the pleasure, and I had to get over some real deal anxiety, but I had the pleasure of talking to some. Like, I just talked to one of the clients who I had service. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and ask. How did you do this, bro? How did you get this? And I was like, so I go up to him. I think his name was Bob. um, and I go up to him and I'm like, I just have one question. How'd you do it, bro? How'd you get this? And that's also when I realized people love to talk about what they do. Anyways, how'd you get this? And he tells me he did real estate when he was in college, right? Or he got more into real estate. He bought a condo. He stayed with his parents for a majority of his college life or college career. Got into real estate, met his wife. They got into real estate. This, that. I didn't really pick up the story, but in layman's terms, real estate was how he got this big ass house. And I was like, I'm getting hungry. But I was thinking, I was like, I'm seeing all these houses and I'm seeing all these nice cars and nice, just nice stuff. Overlooks that look at Lago Vista is another place that I saw. Overlooks that just look at like beautiful water, blue water beyond. And I'm like, how can I get to this? But also in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know if Weed Man can get me to this. I'm like, I don't know if this job can get me to this. But I'm also young, and I'm also not realizing I'm not gonna get this. I'm also impatient, so I'm like, I'm not gonna get this big ass shit tomorrow, bro. It's not gonna happen that soon. I'm probably not gonna even get it next year. But I'm like, yo, what can I do, right, to where I can get this? Because this is the dream. My dream house is somewhere on a lake that I build, log cabin type shit. And I'm like, how can I get this? How can I get to this? And so I ultimately end up, for other reasons, I didn't quit. I didn't quit Weedman because I was like, I can't do this. No, there were other reasons why I quit Weedman, but I ended up quitting Weedman. Still, hindsight is 2020, and I learned from Weedman. One, I developed my marketing skills, right? Because that was also something that we had to do. Develop my marketing skills. Developed my knowledge on like how Texas grass grows and how you can better. They're actually based out of Wisconsin. I lied. Sorry. How Texas grass grows and how you can better feed it and nurture it. Also, just plant life and botany, regardless. So that, and then I just learned like the world really, at least as far as my reality goes of Austin, right? I learned like, yo, there's really like nice ass places out here, and I have to have more. I have to do more, right? If I want this, or if I want to start building right up to that, I have to do more, right? My time and energy has to go somewhere. I can earn income and all that stuff, but my time and energy has to go somewhere else. Which brings me to the crux of this episode, right? And also to my final job. Or not my final job, but like the job I'm at right now. Lord. Working where I don't see working where it's not my purpose, right? Not for me. Working where I don't see the fulfillment in it. I'm not learning anything crazy or adaptable from it. Or working for a company or a corporation or whatever the case may be where I'm not in the zone and challenged mentally. No, sir. And so I'm currently working at Tesla. Tesla's a great corporation. Tesla's a great company. The environment there is very fast paced, right? And so it has its upsides. It also has its downsides. And its downsides for me are the moments where I have to think I'm here for 12 hours, and I definitely ain't. Come on now. I'm here for 12 hours in one place. When in my previous job, and I'm also doing a lot of comparing, but in my previous job, I was there for less than 12 hours in so many other places. Traveling, right? So I realized, right, and this is because of the fact that, so I'm at Tesla and I spend a lot of time, not by myself, but like doing my own thing, per se. And so, wow, that smells good. Because I'm in my own world, right? I spend a lot of time thinking like, okay, because the money's good, right? But I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm here for 12 hours a day, right? How can I take this earned income, right? Take this take this trade, this money that I'm trading my time in for, and make it work for me. So, being at this job and working, period, has really solidified. If I'm gonna be trading in my time, right? If I'm gonna be giving my time to y'all, I need to start doing stuff like this. I need to start doing stuff like this. I need to start feeding some of that time that I'm trading, or what's it called? I need to start feeding some of that time that I don't give y'all, such as weekends and stuff like that I don't give to the corporation, feeding it back into me, right? So that way, I don't feel like I'm being robbed, right? I don't feel like, because essentially I'm not being robbed, but I'm robbing myself if I don't give some of that time back to me, because I gotta give it to them. This stuff ain't gonna pay for itself. I gotta give it to them, right? Mr. Musk, you got my time. But I gotta give some of it back to me. Because at the end of the day, at the end of my day, I don't wanna work forever. I don't wanna work now, right? But also I wanna have the life and security of a 30, 45-year-old now, right? Unfortunately, the reality of my situation is I got to put the work in. But I feel like, since I know, not even necessarily work, let me say that back. Not working isn't for me. Working for somebody else ain't for me. Working for somebody else ain't for me. I can't see myself doing that. Like, I'm always like, can I see myself doing this because the retirement age is high, 60 up. So I'm like, can I see myself working until 60? Clocking in and clocking out until 60? No. Going to the same place until 60? seeing this, seeing roughly the same people until 60, plus whatever the retirement age is. No. No, I can't. No, I cannot. I would much rather find something that I can do that brings me fulfillment, that brings me joy, such as podcasting, such as whatever else I decide, that brings me joy, right? Or brings me fulfillment, puts me in a flow state. I would much rather spend more time doing. I would much rather invest in that. Because that I can see myself doing until 60. Going to the same place, doing this, even if it is promotions, bro. Working to climb this ladder. It is great for your credentials, And I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. I'm just saying that I'm going to climb my own ladder. No, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna climb my own ladder. Yeah, I don't want to go to the same place all the time. I don't want to have to give y'all my time. That shit valuable. I could die tomorrow. I only get a certain amount of it. I don't want to give y'all that. I want to give me my time. But alas, I think I'm a rapper right there. I think I'm on here for an hour. Damn. With that being said, this has been another episode of the YourStory Podcast with Rodney J Salter. Yours truly. I think that's going to be the intro. I'm going to get a soundtrack. And it's going to be, those iCarly things? Sorry. Those iCarly, how Sam had the little button remote thing, and she would click it, and they would just have a soundtrack of, the crowd cheering. I think I'm going to get one of those. Anyways, it's been another episode. This is my story. What's yours? That's a wrap.